In a dramatic escalation of tensions in the Middle East, recent reports indicate that the United States has carried out a targeted military strike on key Iranian nuclear facilities. The operation, which involved B 2 stealth bombers and Tomahawk cruise missiles, was aimed at disrupting Iran's nuclear program by targeting enrichment sites in Fordo, Natanz, and Isfahan. According to U.S. officials, the attack successfully obliterated these locations, marking a decisive move against Tehran's perceived nuclear ambitions. However, conflicting accounts have emerged from both sides. Iranian authorities claim that while surface level damage was inflicted, the core underground infrastructure remains largely intact and repairable. This discrepancy raised questions about the actual impact of the strikes and whether the mission achieved its intended objectives. Adding to the uncertainty, the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, confirmed that no radioactive leakage occurred during the attacks, attributing this to Iran's preemptive evacuation of personnel and removal of enriched uranium stockpiles. This revelation casts doubt on the strategic value of the U.S. operation, as it appears the critical materials were relocated to undisclosed sites before the strike. Analysts suggest that if Iran indeed moved its enriched uranium to hidden or foreign locations, potentially with the help of allies such as Russia or China, the long-term effectiveness of the bombing campaign is questionable. Furthermore, concerns are mounting over how the IAEA handled intelligence leading up to the attack, with accusations that the agency may have been complicit in providing information used to justify the offensive. The broader geopolitical fallout from the U.S.-led strike is also coming into focus. Tensions between Washington and Tehran have reached a boiling point, with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi accusing the United States of undermining diplomatic efforts and sabotaging negotiations. From Iran's perspective, the timing of the attack during ongoing talks has irreparably damaged trust in American intentions. Meanwhile, internal divisions within the U.S. administration appear to be intensifying, with reports of heated disagreements among officials regarding the necessity and scope of the military action. Some sources indicate that Israeli pressure played a significant role in pushing the U.S. toward immediate retaliation, citing concerns over dwindling air defense capabilities and deteriorating security conditions within Israel itself. Russia has condemned the strike as a violation of international non-proliferation norms, warning that it could destabilize global nuclear agreements. Moscow has reaffirmed its support for Iran and called it for renewed diplomatic engagement, even as it braces for potential consequences. Similarly, China has maintained a cautious stance, emphasizing the importance of regional stability. Both powers are expected to play pivotal roles in shaping Iran's response and possibility facilitating future negotiation. However, there are growing fears that Iran may retaliate more aggressively, potentially targeting U.S. military installations or attempting to close the Strait of Hormuz, a move that would send shockwaves through the global energy markets. As the situation unfolds, parallels are being drawn between the current crisis and past conflicts involving asymmetric warfare and prolonged engagements. Critics argue that the U.S. may once again find itself entangled in an open conflict with no clear exit strategy. With 3 aircraft carriers already deployed in the region and further reinforcement likely, the American military footprint in the Middle East is expanding rapidly. This development not only restrains U.S. resources, but also diverts attention and assets away from the other global hotspots, including Ukraine. There are concerns that a protracted war with Iran could weaken NATO's cohesion and create new opportunities for adversaries like Russia and China to exploit. Meanwhile, the ongoing war in Ukraine continues to evolve, with recent developments suggesting a possible turning point. Russian forces have reportedly made significant advances in the Eastern Front, particularly around the strategically important cities of Kupiansk and Pokrovsk. Ukrainian officials admit to mounting challenge, including shortages of ammunition and logistical difficulties. These setbacks have prompted urgent appeals for additional Western aid, with Kyiv requesting another $40 billion in military assistance. However, as global attention shifts toward the Middle East, there are fears that Ukraine may lose critical support just when it needs it the most. The implications for NATO are profound, especially as alliance members grapple with competing priorities and domestic pressures. The intersection of these two major crises, Ukraine and Iran, highlights the complexity of modern geopolitics and the difficulty of managing multiple high-stake conflicts simultaneously. While the U.S. seeks to contain both Russian and Iranian influence, the reality on the ground suggests that containment strategies may be insufficient without a coherent long-term plan. In both theaters, the emphasis appears to be shifting from diplomacy to deterrence, with increased reliance on military posturing and economic leverage. Yet, as history has shown, military solutions often come with unattended consequences, and the path forward remains fraught with uncertainty. That's all for me for today. Stay ahead of the curve on every critical development in the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Stay tuned for upcoming breaking news, deep analysis, and essential updates you won't find anywhere else. Don't get left in the dark. Hit subscribe now and smash that notification bell to be the first to know when major events unfold. Essential viewing is just one click away. Have a wonderful day.